Om Namah Shivaya friends, welcome to Dots of Destiny. Today's video is about the transit of Venus in Libra and aspected by Rahu. So Venus is starting its journey in Libra from 2nd of November, and it'll be there in its own Mul Trikon Rashi till 26th of November, 2nd to 26th November, and here it'll be aspected by Rahu. So Venus is becoming very strong now in transit. Obviously, I have always seen that Venus is best placed in Libra. This is my opinion. Not in Pisces, not in Taurus. Yes, they are good, but the quality of Venus, the quintessential Venus quality is very much found in Libra, because it is the Mool Trikon office, that is the office of Venus, that is the reason. And the diplomacy, the classiness, the able to handle things in a very meticulous way, and also not going into direct fights, but having a touch of finesse to the kind of words that is used and the way things are put forward. Libra Venus is a total. I find the combination great. I have always, I have been, I have seen like that, and I have felt that this is a very good combination. Though I don't have it, but those who I have seen have got are really good in, and especially if it's in Kendra Trikon. So it also creates a Malavya Panch Mahapurush Yoga, and that is very powerful in the transit. So after the debilitation of Venus that we are facing at this point of time, it will be a great time to have Venus in dignity. And so here it is, the month of November will have its two different shades. I can say it in that way, that because Venus will be in Libra, this is a very it's a very classic kind of an arrangement, and it most of the houses it gives very good results. Obviously, if Venus is enemy of your Lagna Lord, then it can create some differences, but still Venus is a high benefic, right? So, and when it is coming its own Mool Trikon, so definitely there is good news for most of the ascendants. And now it is aspected by Rahu also in Libra. Now, only thing with this Venus is that because here Venus is not aspecting Rahu, Rahu is putting an aspect on Venus. So we have to be a little careful with the ways of Rahu, because here both the planets are in its own house and very strong. Rahu is also in Aquarius, its own house, and so there can be unnecessary indulgences also in these kind of transits of Venus, because this is a planet of it wants to experience the good things of life, all the luxuries of life, all the relationships of life, all the good things of life, whether even it is the taste also, the food also, all the good things are governed by Venus. So Rahu can definitely enhance the qualities too much over here. Now, what is a problem is that in the same month, Mars is in Scorpio, aspected by Jupiter and Saturn in the Trikon. And the in the Kalpurush Kundli, the seventh lord is in the seventh house, and the eighth lord is in the eighth house. So because see the transit of Venus, that's why see good times are shorter. That's why the transit of Venus is just from 2nd of November to 26th, but Mars will have a bigger transit in Scorpio, and Venus will also join that after 26th. And Mars is having this transit in Scorpio, where it is going through a big change in whichever area this is happening. Scorpio, whenever a planet goes, if it its own lord also, it will bring some changes, no doubt about. So here you're going through a transformational, some kind of spiritual changes, which will happen for every ascendant in whichever house it is happening. And here Venus is, a luxury oriented planet, making you prepare for the indulgences. The two energies are very different. This is what I want to point out. The two energies are very, very different, and that is why the month of November can make you pull in like a tug of war. And Mars and Venus are, they always rule opposite signs. So here, these two planets in their own houses are very strong, but in a very different way. Mars is bringing some big transformation because it is aspected by this Jupiter, which is exalted, and this Jupiter will also go retrograde very soon, from 15th-20th of November. So this is a big transformation that is happening in November with the Mars Jupiter Saturn arrangement in the Moksha Trikon. And here Venus is putting more stress on luxury things, or the bhog, the rajasic things, I can call. So that's why there's a contradiction in the transits of November. That is why we have to be a little cautious. That's why I will talk mainly about Venus for all the ascendants, but obviously I'll talk about the Mars factor also, because both has to be balanced in that kind of a transit. So this is the main theme. Let's see how the ascendants work in this kind of a transit that we are seeing in the month of November. For the Aries ascendant, this transit of Venus is happening in your 7th house, and if you are running a Venus Mahadasha at this point of time, this Venus is also getting aspected from 11th house Rahu. So it is a very good transit that is happening, Kendra Malavya Panch Mahapurush Yoga, and it will give, if you are looking for a partnership, it can give you a good partnership also at this point of time. The partnership can be romantic, the partnership can be business oriented also, and it propels you towards taking certain decisions. Because your Lagna Lord is in the 8th house, aspected by Jupiter at this point of time. I'm just talking about the November month because, as I told in the preface of my video, though I'm talking about Venus in Libra, this Venus transit of Libra will have an effect with the Mars that is doing its transit in Scorpio, because your Lagna Lord is going through a change. You can have to deal with certain pros and cons and think in deep about certain aspects of your life and maybe your health, and your partner can be your guidance over here. Over here, the decision of your partner can be realistic. But my only hitch or glitch is that Rahu is aspecting this Venus. What happens with Rahu when it is looking at this Venus in Libra is that Rahu-Venus combination is a good combination for taking advice or anything. It's like the Swati Nakshatra combination. Swati is the most important nakshatra in Libra, and which is ruled by Rahu, and here Rahu is aspecting Venus. So any important decision that you want to take, whether regarding any kind of business thing or any shift of place or any partnership decision or striking new partnership, whether it's a romantic partnership, whether it's a marriage, whether it's a business, all these things are good, no doubt about it. But because you are going through a big change at this point of time, Mars being in the 8th house, so whatever your partner says, that can appeal to you a lot, which is not bad also. The partner can actually help you. If you're a male, the female partner may help. If you're a female, the male partner can help. That is a very good condition that is happening with this Venus transit in the Libra in your 7th house. But understand one thing, because Rahu is aspecting the 7th house and this Venus is transiting over there, Rahu is very strong in its own house, Aquarius. The decisions can be a little flamboyant, more ambitious than maybe it's required. That condition remains. It is my perspective, and that's why I'm putting it across. So whatever, because things are favored at this point of time, and this 1.5 month for you Aries people will be very very decision oriented and transformative, because then Mars will reach the ninth house of Sagittarius, again aspect by Jupiter. It is a very good transit that is going on. Now this transit is also good of Mars and Venus in its own house, Mars in its own house, but some changes will happen and some decisions needs to be taken, so you have to be a little careful. Otherwise it is a good transit for partnership, for striking business, getting the best. You will be able to have your judgment set good. All these things will be good, and your decisions will be quite unique. If you especially run a Venus dasha, antardasha, pratyantar also, your decisions will be good. Your money from the business, new business patch up happening, all these things are favored Aries people. It's a good time in that way, no doubt about that. But just keep a watch, because your Lagna Lord is in the 8th house. So any health scars sudden due to indulgences that can happen. Any unnecessary relationship should not happen at this point of time. That much of understanding you must have, because it happens. So sometimes Venus Rahu, it gives unwanted kind of relationship out of the marriage, or which may later dissolve. So this is not required. Take good decisions, savor this transit. It's a good one with your partner, or through your business, striking up a new deal, new business activities, new ventures, visiting foreign lands together. Anything can happen. This is a good transit to have actually. So take good care. Taurus people. Now, for the Taurus, the Lagna Lord is in the 6th house, and the seventh lord is in the 7th house. Now, as I told before in this video, I'll talk about a little bit Mars also over here, because Venus is in its own Mool Trikon, Mars also is in Scorpio. So because it is your Lagna Lord and the 7th lord, here your 7th lord is becoming very very dominant in the horoscope, because for the Taurus people, one problem is that its Lagna lord's transit in the 6th house can give very good work environment. If you're asking for a rise on something like that, a money rise or something, you'll get it. Do not be in a hurry to take a loan at this point of time, because Venus in the 6th house will give you the loan, because it is aspected by Rahu. It is giving an inflation to that area, but later it can become a problem for you facing that loan, or how to pay it back. These things can be a problem. So hold on, think how much you can take, so that you can pay it back at the right time. I'm not taking you don't take, because loan can be, if you're asking for a loan, can be approved at this point of time. That's a very much a good condition at this point of time. Now your 7th lord is also in the 7th house. The partner can be very dominating, and you can get very much influenced by your partner at this point of time, because Mars is also aspecting the Lagna now, which is not bad, but definitely keep in the understanding that if both the decisions are going in the right direction. The problem with Venus being in its own Mool Trikon, which is a very good transit, but 6th house Venus is not a very good condition, because Venus originally gets debilitated in Virgo, which is the 6th house of Kalpurush Kundli. That's why this arrangement of Venus in the 6th house, I cannot call it out and out a great arrangement. You will have certain goodies definitely, like 30%, 40% will be good from this, but you will ask for more also. Now whether that comes through in this transit or not, that is a question. So whatever you get, take it, and do not feel that I am left out, because you will not get enough out of this transit. Lagna Lord in the 6th house, disputes you can definitely you can deal with disputes in a very diplomatic way, because this Venus in Libra aspected by Rahu gives a combination like the Swati nakshatra, which is a very diplomatic nakshatra. Rahu's nakshatra with Venus still there in Libra, it gives a very diplomatic touch. So diplomacy is very important at this point of time. You can definitely, with that, you can solve problems. If it is in your married life, if it is in your workplace, if it is regarding any loans also, be satisfied with whatever you get out of the sixth house. Do not fidget with it. That is the main thing. Because Mars is very strong in this transit more than Venus, and Mars is your 12th lord. So if you 12th and the 7th lord, so if you fidget too much, then it can go for a waste, this transit. So take it as it comes. You will be busy. You can change a job also, because Jupiter also is transiting the sign from second to the third house. You can have a change of place, a change of job. These things can happen. Rahu will also very soon in your 10th house move to Shatabhisha Nakshatra. You can have new group of people. So these things are important at this point of time. I am more or less talking about the whole November month than just the Venus transit in Libra. But obviously the Lagna Lord and the 6th Lord take care of your health. If you have some health scar, something you need to have a check, this can be a very good time. Do not ignore it, because Rahu sometimes give too much of confidence in that. It is aspecting the Venus in the Libra. So do not run overconfident. Do what is needed and take a sanity of mind, and do not get too suppressed by your partner also. So have a good month. Gemini ascendant, the transit of Venus is having in the, you're having in the 5th house of Libra. It is a great transit for your upliftment, your intelligence, your understanding of things, your romantic relationship, even your relationship with your progeny. Your progeny can get an upliftment. You can get name, fame out of this transit. It is a really good transit, and Rahu is aspecting this Venus from the 9th house, which gives you even more confidence. Now, one thing about this is that sometimes Rahu is makes because see here Venus is in Libra in 5th house. Rahu is aspecting Venus, is not aspecting Rahu. So sometimes Rahu can make you feel whatever you got also is not enough. But don't take it in that way, because then the spirit of this transit gets marred, because sometimes Rahu is the unsatisfaction factor that is there always. We are dissatisfied. That is the problem. So otherwise it's a very good transit. Only glitch in the month of November, if you take it, is that Mars is in the 6th house. If you are running a Dashantar Dasha Pratyanta Dasha of Mars, be very careful, as your competitors can be very high, highly, it can, the competition can be too tough. Though Mars is said to be very good in the 6th, no doubt, but because it is not a Gemini ascendant, Mars is not a 11th house lord, but it is a 6th house lord, so Trishadaya lord. So it brings you into competition. You find tooth and nail, and then you find that the opponent takes away the cake. So that should not mar your happiness. What I'm trying to say, even if you're competing, understand, if you though luck is favoring you, but your competitor is also very strong, Mars being in the 6th house. So understand that. Otherwise Venus can bring you good money on your table. You can grant a promotion, some name, fame, some better money out of it. If you have a Venus antar pratyantar, then it is even good. You can feel loved with your partner. All these things can happen at this point of time. All in all, it's a very good transit. Don't let the Mars transit in Scorpio mar this transit. That is my only this thing about this transit. Otherwise it is good. It is really good. You can do humanitarian. Your intelligence will be very good at this point of time. Whatever decisions, if you need to make a decision that had been pending for long, your education will be good. Competitive exams, if you're studying for, it is good. All these things are favored. If you're looking for a solution, it will come into your mind at this point of time, and the solution will be correct also. So for Gemini ascendant, it's a really good transit that you will have in the month of November, and savor it to the fullest. Feel happy and genuinely loved. Thank you. For Cancer ascendants, the transit of Venus is happening in the fourth house of Libra. Fourth house is a great house for Venus actually, because it is Digbala also in the fourth house and its own house, aspected by Rahu from the eighth house. Here it is a great transit for the whole family. Jupiter on the Lagna, you are feeling confident and your family atmosphere becomes very good, and you can buy real estate, cars, luxury good items, decoration of the house, good family get together, all these things, land issues if any, that can get solved at this point of time, because Mars is also favoring you in the fifth house. All this is good, no doubt about that. So there is nothing much bad about, I mean, it is a really good time that you are going through, if because it's of the Mars, the fifth lord is in the fifth house, the fourth lord in the fourth house. So this is good actually, and nothing great, I mean nothing more to say about it, other than your heart will feel very good, you will feel like giving more, you will feel very nurtured, cared, and with the family. If any misunderstanding is there, it is the right time to solve these, and yeah, it is all good is there at this point of time. November month, please Cancer ascendants, because I know there are so many Cancer people had been waiting for good time. I just hope you are running a good dasha, because after all transit comes at the end. Dasha is the prime factor. If you have a good dasha, these transits will bring really great results, and especially the Jupiter on the Lagna. So Venus is in the fourth house, Digbala condition, own house, aspected by Rahu, and also Mars in Scorpio. So three great arrangements you are having. What more do I'm feeling happy. I don't know why I'm feeling really great for Cancer ascendants, because there are so many people who have been always telling me that nothing, good is coming up. But see, we cannot tell unnecessary goodies if it is not happening in the transits. That is also a thing. So only thing is that, though it is not about the Venus, one thing about is that Rahu is aspecting this Venus in Libra, aspected by Rahu, kind of makes a Swati nakshatra kind of an arrangement. Swati is in between the Libra sign, and that is ruled by Rahu. Here Venus is there, aspected by Rahu from the 8th house. Do not overspend on things which you want to do. You have to have a calculative factor in your mind on what kind of real estate you are going. If you are selling a house, buying a house, if you're buying a property, a land, furnitures, decorating your house, if you're buying a car, all these times are good. People coming at your home, luxury at home, going to, all these things are good. Very mangalic situations at home, all this is good. But because Rahu enhances the things very much, be a little careful about that. Do not go for too much overindulgence in anything. That is one point. Second is that this Mars in the fifth house is very good, but Mercury is also there, the 12th lord, and Mercury, as you know, doesn't go very well with Mars. So because Mercury is the third lord and the 12th lord, in the fifth house, though it is not regarding Venus, but still, because it's a November month, do not create unnecessary verbal spat with your loved ones or your children, your progeny, or whoever. That's not required, because sometimes Mars Mercury creates a little bit irritability in the sign of Scorpio, because Mars is also intense in Scorpio and Mercury is not very comfortable in Scorpio, but both are making a yuti for a long period of time in Scorpio. That's why that irritation should not let you unnecessarily take away the speech and speech, peace, and the sanity from the home environment. So enjoy this transit, Cancer people, and let me know later how your November month goes. Take care. Leo ascendants, it is the third house, the 10th lord and the third lord. Now see, when the 10th lord comes into the third house, obviously it shows you can go for some travel, though the fourth lord is in the fourth house, but you may have to travel. Communication will be very good with people. You will have a touch of diplomacy. You will be able to convince people very well. People will be taken by your words. And though the 10th house, see, when when we are talking about Taurus, which is your 10th house, from the 10th it is the 6th. Some differences in the opinion with your boss, with your office area can happen, because Taurus is always 6th and 8th combination from Libra. But Libra Venus nonetheless knows how to give a very diplomatic and nice, speech, so that the differences in opinions are not very much marred. Now, over here, one thing, Leo, is that sometimes, because the sun is also in a debilitated condition in the third house, the health may not be very good. Venus coming into the third house, but Venus is not getting combust. Mars is in the fourth house with Mercury. Here, both are aspecting your 10th house. Now, the professional front can be a bit demanding. That can happen. You may plan a short trip at this point of time, but the profession is still demanding, because Mars Mercury both will be aspecting your 10th house. And because Sun is not very powerful, understand that whenever Sun goes into Libra and Scorpio at this point of the year, until and unless it reaches Sagittarius, your health needs a good care, because the Sun is not very comfortable in these two signs. And I've seen that again and again. One, it's debilitated. Scorpio, not debilitation, because fourth house Sun, it loses its directional strength. And in watery sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces Sun has health related issues. It can be very simple as cough and cold, but the health suffers at this point of time. So do not get too much of irritation at this point of time. Do not be too rigid. You will not be, because Venus in the third house benefic makes a person very flexible, and the communication is also very good, and they're able to convince people. Actually, it's a very good time where you help others, people help you. My only concern is that because Venus is going from the 10th to the 6th, and 6th from the 10th house, so some issues with the professional thing can happen, because Mars is also in the fourth house aspecting the 10th house with Mercury. So these conditions suddenly trigger certain thing, and because Sun is not in a very healthy position, I can put it in that way. Nonetheless, the transit is good. There's no, you're not here to fight it out. The stubbornness should not take away the goodness of the transit, because Mars Scorpio can become a little bit sometimes too stubborn. So that's the thing. Maintaining flexibility, maintaining a good comradeship with the people, with the neighbors around in your communication, your online things. As Rahu is aspecting this, Rahu from the 7th house is aspecting this. So this is a great time for online things also. If you are a content creator or anything like that, it can really help you in these kind of transits. So it's a good transit, and if you want to go for short trips and all, this is the time you can definitely plan. Have a good time, Leo, in the month of November. Take care. Virgo, Libra falls in your 2nd house, and Venus will be transiting your 2nd house aspected by Rahu. Here Venus is mainly about finance, money. Your speech will be good. You will have good time with family members. You will be able to accumulate and retain the money. Do not be too much indulgence with the Rahu that is aspecting this Venus from the 6th house. Sometimes Rahu makes us feel that this is not enough. Maybe you are trying to put in the money, you are getting the money, finances are flowing in, it will flow in, maybe from foreign sources, from different sources. Maybe you get a hike in your salary. All these things can happen at this point of time. And Mercury, though it is with Mars, your Lagna Lord in Scorpio 3rd house, you are having full strength also. You will be able to go ahead with power and gusto. But one thing is that this Mars Mercury in the 3rd house can create some issues with sibling, neighbors, all these things. Take care of that. Libra, Venus will give you a good speech. It will give you goodies to eat also. The home environment can feel good. You can add up to your bank kitty. All these things will happen. Only one thing is that because Taurus is your 9th house, and Taurus, Venus rules Taurus, it is 6th from the Bhagya Sthan. Do not do anything based just on your luck factor. Please do not. You will not you will not get the benefit at all. So whatever hard work you have put in, whatever work you had been doing for long, if that is giving result, very good. Do not go for share market or unnecessarily, giving your money a trick of the luck. Do not do that now, because the condition from the Taurus, this is sixth. So luck, bhagya bharose, you cannot do things at this point of time. That will not work out. That is the only thing. Otherwise, it's a good arrangement at this point of time. Your Lagna Lord will go again retrograde. So one thing that happens, why I'm adding this, it is the month of November. Mostly I'm talking about, though main focus is on Venus in Libra aspected by Rahu, which is an absolutely good transit for money, for relationship, for food, goodies, family, everything. But because the Lagna Lord is getting retrograde in the mid of December, it will come back to Libra. So certain things needs to be rebalanced and redone again. So do not create too much of a fiasco in the third house, though you will win. If there is any disputes at this point of time, you will be winning, because Mars is in the third and aspecting the sixth, Rahu sitting over there. But unnecessarily we do not need high voltage drama in our life, right? Because when Mercury goes retrograde, these things happen: slip of word, slip of tongue, miscommunication, certain papers going missing, all these things, because the Lagna Lord is getting retrograde, and again it will come back to Scorpio in the next month of December. So there's a change you are going through, definitely. And Saturn retrograde is aspecting your Lagna. I know you are also going through not a very good time, and but Jupiter in the 11th house transit is good. Again, next year it will happen. Your gains will be more profound, hence from June 2026. But nonetheless, November month is a good month to have your guts, go by your guts, and having a win over situation to the people around you. I can put it in that way. With money also, you will be able to save it and use it for the better good. Yeah, take care, Virgos. Libra ascendants, the Lagna Lord is coming on the Lagna. I hope you get a relief from the stress that you are running at the present time. Lagna Lord being in the 12th house, aspected by Saturn from the 6th in debilitated condition. Many Libra people in the month of October have approached me and told me that it feels really heavy at this point of time due to a lot of activities. Not only it's personal, everything, it can be professional, it can be personal, it can be money related, targets and all this, because Saturn in the 6th house is a very rigorous process actually. So this coming of Venus on the Lagna is really a good relief for you in the month of November. And Mars is also transiting in the sign of Scorpio. Money will be accumulated. You will have, though you'll have competition, you will be able to meet out with it. And Venus on the Lagna will give a good grace to you, aspected by Rahu. Now over here, just that thing, there can be relationships also happening at this point of time, because Rahu is aspecting this Venus and Rahu is in the 5th house. So do not get too much involved in that, because this is a short transit. Later it can become your headache, Saturn being in the 6th house. So be a little careful of that. Take care of your own health, your own well-being, yourself, your intelligence. All these things are favored at this point of time. If you were suffering from health related issues, you can get a betterment from here onwards. And your monetary things, if you had a problem, it can get very much a little bit solved if the dasha is not very bad. That is very important. Jupiter is in your 10th house aspecting this Mars, and Rahu is in the 5th aspecting the Venus, that is your Lagna Lord, in the 1st house. But understand, these two transits are a little different. First Lord in the 1st house and second Lord in the 2nd house. So first Lord in the 1st house aspected by Rahu is telling you to overindulge. Yes, you should spend on yourself. You should have a good time during this month of November. But do not go too much overboard, but because Mars is in the 2nd house aspected by Jupiter, which is telling you to conserve, because Jupiter is like it will increase the thing. And Scorpio, it is the eighth house. Suddenly it can go for a turn and twist. So do not take unnecessary risk about it. Savor your money and your health and your well-being. I feel this is a very good time for Libra people to rejuvenate and get better something out of themselves. Take good care of yourself, and at this point of time you are very, you will have a very good confidence in yourself, because don't be overconfident. Rahu is aspecting this Venus on the lagna, but if it is there in the native horoscope that Venus is on the lagna in Libra, which is a Malavya Mahapurush yoga, it is, these people are very, they are very classy, they are very the speech is excellent. They are able to help people. They have a good, I mean, a big heart to help, and they are diplomatic at the same time, but they do not go for verbal spats and anything. They have their own way of dealing with the enemies. So it is a really good transit for you, Libra. Nothing too much overwhelming at this point of time, but I just feel November month should give you a lot of relief in your health area, in your professional area, in your monetary things. All these things would get quite a lot of things are getting sorted in the month of November. Do let me know once the month is over how you feel, how it's going with you. I feel it should be a very growth oriented month for you, really favoring you. Take care. Scorpio people, it is the 12th lord in the 12th house aspected by Rahu. Here it can give you certain indulgences for luxury. Because international trips, it can, Rahu is in the 4th house. If you want to buy a property, a car, or anything, when Venus comes in the 12th house, it makes you go for the even better version of it. That is the only thing over here. You can become quite philanthropic also. You may, if you have a permanent Venus over there, these people can give a lot also. And giving is not bad, but definitely unnecessary spending, because Mars is on the lagna. You are going through some changes also, which later you'll realize it will help you actually. But Mars on the Scorpio, Mars being its own house, yes, this is also a Ruchak Panch Mahapurush Yoga in transit. You will feel very confident. Out of the confidence, do not go for too much of an expenses. That is what I meant to say. 12th house Venus can give that, and it is a 7th lord in the 12th house. So relationships can demand expenses, and that may happen. Maybe your wife or husband wants more to the plate, like going outside and you spend money over there, or buying a car which is expensive than what you had thought. These things can very much happen. If relationships at this point try to creep up in your life, if you're running a Antardasha Pratyantardasha Venus, it is unnecessary, I feel, because these kind of 12th house transit relationships aspected by Rahu, they are not going to last forever. They give a flavor for 1-2 months and they fizzle out, and it only leaves a scar on your in your thought process or in your heart or whatever. So that is up to you. I do not know how you lead your life, what are your principles and what is your way of taking it, but this is what I felt when Venus goes into the Libra in the 12th house, because 12th house is the original house of Pisces. Venus gets exalted over there, but sometimes money comes and money goes away also very quickly due to the indulgences of Venus over there. So that's why it's just a precaution, but otherwise you will feel very confident with Mars in the month of November. I'm talking the whole of November being in being on the lagna. So take good care of your health also, and travels and all these things, some boosting of your personality, taking into some new regime, all these things can in the month of November. It's a good month for you. It should be a productive month, as Jupiter is also aspecting this Mars on the lagna. So just take care of the expenses, and you can feel like giving also. Give, I'm not telling not to give, but give how much you can, not beyond that. Sometimes Venus in Libra in the 12th house, they give to sometimes show their, sometimes it happens to show that how much I'm capable of. So do not run into that race. Otherwise, take care, Scorpio, it's a good month for you. Sagittarius 11th lord in the 11th house, obviously it's very good, and there will be incoming flow of money. A Lagna lord in the 8th house can give some health related issues or some changes that is bound to happen. Though Venus is not a very good planet for you, but in the 11th house and the 11th lord, your groups and networks can help you. It can give you certain information which helps you. Your incoming flow becomes better, you are feeling comfortable with your group, and all these things are great. Even your elder siblings can also do great at this point of time. If there is any long pending desire, that if you're running that kind of a dasha antardasha, Rahu, Venus, something like that, that can be fulfilled. The problem with Sagittarius over here is that Mars is in the 12th house. So some disputes with own family members can also happen. It's not because Mars is in the own house, but Scorpio is kind of a back, in the sense, Scorpio is not an open sign. Everything is not visible. It is like internal glitches, cold wars, strategic wars. In the 12th house, you are unable to express also maybe to people. So it is a mixed time for you, Sagittarius people. I cannot say it is flamboyantly good, and neither I can say it is very bad. But obviously, Lagna Lord in the 8th house and the 5th Lord in the 12th house, though in its own sign, can give some issues. And because Saturn is in the 4th house with own family members, that can very much happen. Be careful of that. If you have to spend, because again, 12th house is a house of spending. Uh, uh, your family can expect a lot out of you. That can also happen. So be careful what you're spending, how you're spending, what you're dealing with, because sometimes people may not give you the credit for all these things. 12th house is like that. It's gone, it's gone. Okay, if you keep that in mind, that yes, I'm giving, the expenses are happening because it is meant to be, I do not get anything out of it, then it's a different story. It's kind of a philanthropic thing. That is okay. But then also, because the money will come in 11th house, your gains and your networks and your wishes are getting a good flavor. But again, the 12th house is consuming those things also. So a balance is there, but a little bit more on this side, because Lagna Lord in the 8th house, though exalted, you are going through a change that is happening at this moment of time. But best of luck, Sagittarius. This change is needed in your life. Jupiter in the December, it will come in the 7th house, again aspect of Lagna. Again, that time it will be a good November month. Just keep a balance between your expenses and whatever you're getting. The extra amount can at this point come into your kitty. So take care. Nonetheless, it's a 50-50 month. Try to balance it. 11th Lord, if you're running a dasha, especially Antardasha, Pratyantardasha Venus, it will be very fruitful for you at this point of time. Venus being in the 11th in its own moon trikona, aspected by Rahu. Take care. For Capricorn ascendants, the 10th Lord is in the 10th house and the 11th Lord is in the 11th house, Mars. So Venus going into the 10th house, it is a good position for asking for any upliftments, promotion, or getting one at this point of time, because Saturn being in the 3rd house, you have put in lot and effort, and your Bhagya Lord Mercury is also making a conjunction with Mars in the 11th house. This is a very good condition actually to getting money, and at the same time, because see, 10th Lord in 10th, 11th Lord in 11th, it is a really good combination. Hope that you run a dasha which can do justice to this transit. Your November month should be really good, eventful, and wherever you are planning to expand your professional work, whether it's business, whether it's job, whether it's a change, whether it's a transfer, all these things are favored at this point of time. And because in midst of this, Saturn will also go direct, many pending works will also be seeing the light of the day at this point of time, and your definitely monetarily you will gain. Be prepared for the next transit not to spend that money unnecessarily when Mars goes into Sagittarius in December. But November month is a very good month for you. The Kendra Malavya Panch Mahapurush Yoga, you'll have the heart to help others, and that help never goes amiss. It comes back to you in time, definitely. But it's a very good month for career related things, for betterment at the home front, and all these things are favored by this Venus and the Mars in the 11th house, and the Mercury, the Bhagya Lord, in the 11th house also. It'll go retrograde, but still it'll have a very good impact. And I don't know what much to say about these two transits. It's very clear. And if you have any glitches with anybody at this point, your speech will be very good. You'll be very diplomatic. You can make a truce at this point of time in your professional area or the people around you, all these things. So I mean, I cannot stretch it unnecessarily. I'm a very to the point person, and this is a good transit, and this is a good month, and it's a very progressive month, and it should be taken in that manner only. Later things later, December, what happens we'll see later, but at this point of time it is looking all very good. If you're going for a marriage or anything, even Jupiter in the 7th house can make that happen, and you can get good alliances also at this point of time. You can strike up a conversation also, and things are going good in most of the spheres. And Saturn will also go direct, and things will start moving also. So maybe the marriage happens or not at this point of time, but you'll be able to find somebody definitely with this Jupiter, Venus in Kendra, and Mars in the 11th house. Even your elder siblings can also benefit if you have that kind of a dasha. Elder sibling, because the 11th lord is in the 11th house, your elder sibling can also seem a good time at this point of time, and from there also you can have some gains, and your networking circles can support you. All these things can happen for the Capricorn ascendants, just that the dasha needs to be a little supportive, because without the dasha the transit will fizzle out. Dasha is the main important factor in always. Dasha makes us the king or the beggar, whatever it is. So ordinary dasha will give ordinary transit results. These kind of transits with a little bit of good dasha can really give great flavor to your horoscope. Take good care. Good month. Aquarius, your Bhagya Lord coming, ninth Lord in the ninth house. What can be better than that? Till now you were struggling maybe with the Venus in the 8th house. There's a change. I won't say struggling, maybe money was coming. Saturn is in the second, aspected by Venus till now, what you're having. But definitely this Venus, as it comes into the ninth house, your education, your long distance journeys, your luck, taking the risk of luck, because Rahu is also aspecting this Venus from the Lagna, getting some name fame, that is also very much there, because 10th Lord is in the 10th house. Venus the 9th Lord in the 9th house, Mars the 10th Lord in the 10th, and your 5th Lord joining the 10th Lord. What more condition do you need? It should be a really good transit. Yes, your competitors, Jupiter is exalted in the 6th house, but you will be able to deal with that competition. You'll be able to deal with the confidence will be such at this point of time. It's a very good month, Aquarius. Actually, Capricorn and Aquarius, both the Yogakarak planet coming in the own Mool Trikon, aspected by Rahu, because Rahu is also your co-lord. This is overconfidence is not required. Suppose many people, I feel, they invest in the market area and all, will too much overconfidence when these kind of transits happen. That I will not say. But if you're really doing a thing concrete for a long period of time and you were not getting the results, this is the time the result will come to you. This November month can see the light of the day, and you can feel really good about this month. And you know, the conditions that is built up in your horoscope. Your lagna lord is also going direct by the end of November. Things will start moving and you will feel great, because it's a Panch Mahapurush yoga in the 10th house also, with Mars Richak Panch Mahapurush yoga. And so this is auguring your pilgrimages. You can go, you'll be very diplomatic, you will love to help others, and you'll get benefit out of it also. Even the boss can favor you, you can get a good job, you can get a place. If you want a change in your job, that can also be favored. If you're asking for it, it'll be given to you. All these things are favored. Only one thing is that Mars is aspecting the lagna where Rahu is. Do not get flared up, please remember that, because Rahu expands the thing. Mars aspecting the lagna can give you sudden impulsive decisions and also sudden anger. So only that much needs to be kept in check. Otherwise, this is a very good month for you, Aquarius. It should turn out to be a very good month. Give positive affirmations regarding whichever area you're looking forward. This can very much give you the results that you have been looking for very long. So take good care, Aquarius. Have a good month ahead. Pisces ascendant, Pisces people, Mars is now reaching your ninth house, but Venus is in the eighth house. So here some unnecessary expenses can happen, because it is the eighth lord in the eighth, and if you're running any dasha of Venus, pratyantar, antar, this is the third lord, a change of place, a sudden change of activity. Because see, now lagna lord is well placed in the fifth house, Mars is also well placed in the ninth house, in its own house, but with a change it comes with a twist, because the eighth lord going into the eighth, getting very strong, aspected by Rahu from the 12th house, can give a sudden change in the month of November, because eighth house is a house of change, and the changes of the eighth house are very unforeseen. You cannot see it, it comes suddenly and you have to deal with it. That kind of a change can happen. Take it in your stride, because the fifth house and the ninth house is in a very good shape. So though this Venus can become strong, but definitely your lagna lord is strong, your ninth lord is strong, I feel your decision will be good and you will be able to get best out of this kind of a condition in November. Though taking care of health, your expenses, your partner or your relationship can be a little problematic at this point of time. It can be. Because the transit of eighth lord in the eighth house is not very giving. Other than inheritances and all these things can happen, it can suddenly spur that kind of energy, but otherwise it is not very. You have to go through a change that is required. The change is inevitable. The Bhagya Dasha is also showing that, because Mars is also with Mercury, the seventh lord is also there. That's why. But nonetheless, the whole scenario looks good. That is my point. I am over here, though I'm talking about Libra Venus aspected by Rahu, where I'm telling you to be careful regarding unnecessary relationships, unnecessary waste of money, indulgences, food indulgences, all these things. Monetary waste should not happen. If sudden changes come, which is bound to come, as Jupiter has just entered the fifth house, it will again move from the fifth. Some change in your life pattern will happen, whether it is due to your health, due to your profession, due to your relationship. It can happen. Certain changes can or will happen in this month, but you will take the change and you will move along with it, because the fifth and ninth house is supporting you, and those are it is your prarabdha and your agami karma, the fortune house, though those are supporting you. So fifth and ninth house in a good situation. So I can say whatever change happen, yes, you can feel a little unsettled at this point of time, but you'll be able to see the brighter days ahead when Mars again moves to the though Mars is very good in the ninth house, no complaints with that, but Mars then moves to the 10th house, it will be even better. So that is there for the Pisces ascendant. Take good care of your health, and if any Venus for the female can give sudden some problem with the private body parts or anything, because it is very strong in its eighth house. So if any health checkup is related or needed to you, the Lagna Lord is supporting you, please go and do a health checkup and rectify it. Otherwise, it's a balanced month. You'll be able to balance it with but it's good only. It's good, nothing bad with it. So yeah, this was my take on Venus in Libra. Hope you get something out of this video. Next time, another transit, next video. Till then, take care. Have a good day, friends.